All right. Okay. So yes. Okay. Going back to Alex. For Alex, it was a little shaky and uncertain at the beginning, but as you moved towards the middle and at the end, there were lots of points. There were lots of sources. And you were able to provide evidences for your arguments, which which is good. Okay. So um and also when you mentioned about the definition, and then you mentioned that the statement is true but it should not, oh sorry, that this that the statement is false. Okay, it would be better if you mentioned that this statement is true, because that's the definition of corporal punishment. This statement is true, but Mr. Adjudicator, this the negative team or this house believes that corporal punishment should not be allowed in the school. Mr. Adjudicator, we're talking about violence here. We're talking, as mentioned in the definition, it's all about it's about slapping. It's about hitting the students. Mr. Adjudicator, if you have a kid, if you have um, um, a baby, would you want, or if you have uh, a kid studying in the school, would you want your kid to be punished, to be slapped, to be hit by their teachers? So from that statement, you will already, get the attention of your adjudicator. Okay, because of course I won't. I just like what um, Miranda did in her opening speech. She said, "Imagine if this is, if that is." Okay, so from there you are putting the adjudicator, you're bringing those who are listening to your speech, so you have an interaction with them. There's a question here. Teacher, do the online challenge one team needs three people? No. Okay. So for the online challenge, it's an individual competition. You will be submitting your own video and you will be answering the challenge on your own. Okay. So it's an individual competition. But again, for Alex, again, the start, it was a little shaky, but towards the end, you were able to persuade. But I would want you to be that type of speaker, or that speaker. I want you to have that style from the beginning until the end. Okay, so when you're doing the rebuttals, you should be you should be a bit aggressive because you're questioning the statement of the opposition. All right. Now for Miranda, okay, the statement, the quotation, the opening statement was strong, and then um, what I would, because during while waiting for the speakers, you ask teacher, how can we win this round, right? Actually, I thought of, okay, going back to what I keep telling you guys. When you are negating something, the best way to negate is to make a recommendation. It was actually in your speech, but it was not elaborated and it was not expounded in a way that it will be helpful for your team. You mentioned about corporal punishment not being that abusive, right? Exactly. That's how you can uh, how you can um, how you can win this debate. As an affirmative team, corporal punishment is, we know that it's a negative, it's violence, it's a negative thing. So how can it be positive? Um, you could have defined this. So your first speaker, I know that is not here, but your first speaker could have defined corporal punishment. Mr. Adjudicator, corporal punishment, the the definition of corporal punishment is this: slapping, hitting. But in the school, what we the affirmative team is recommending is to give a form of corporal punishment, but not but however, not that a corporal punishment that is not that, you know um harmful for the kid, or for the kids, or not that not that not too aggressive, and not too harmful. Okay, like for example, simple as what like keeping or keeping the palm. Okay, you can give examples. Okay, like for example, hitting the palm lightly, something like that. So you can give examples, and you can set the you can set the boundaries. Okay, because if we talk about corporal punishment, we're talking about hitting, slapping, and everything, all the all the like bad things that you can do, punching someone, that you can do as a punishment. But if you were as an affirmative team, if you're able to set the boundary, okay, the negative team couldn't, you couldn't rebut with you anymore, and that will be a minus point for them, and it will be a plus point for you, because you can just keep uh reminding the adjudicator, Mr. Adjudicator, we already defined the motion for this afternoon. We defined corporal punishment, not too abusive, not too harmful for the kids. And examples of this are, okay, so you can think of examples of a corporal punishment that are not too aggressive, not too harmful for the students. Just because you have points, okay? You have points with your argument that discipline, and it's really hard, especially for me as a teacher. It's really hard to discipline everyone, especially like for example my grade 8 students. I have a bunch of grade 8 students, 25 students, 26 students, and it's hard for me to really discipline them inside the classroom, especially if everyone is like, okay, if they are elated already, you know, I need to heighten my voice, and sometimes it doesn't work. So I just sit down and just move on. But there that I know that if I can do corporal punishment, it will be better for them, because they will really listen, and they will really, stop there. Okay. But I'm not that kind of teacher. I'm not, I don't have that. I don't have that persona. Okay. So, yeah, again, the best way that you can negate, the best way that you can oppose something is to give a recommendation, to set the boundaries, to define it, or to define the term or the motion in a way that will be helpful for you. If you're able to set that boundary from your first speaker, then it won't be, it will be hard for the opposition to debate against you. So that you have your point with that not very abusive corporal punishment, but your team could have elaborated this. Now for Maggie, again, Mr. and Miss. Again, if you don't have your Mrs. or Miss beside me, aside from this alpacas here, then no need for you to mention about that. But um, for Maggie, just the same. Like for Alex, you have actually the content of all the speakers for today. It was there were lots of arguments, and there were lots of points that you were able to raise, but the way you delivered, okay, so again, for it's very important, because in the debate I experienced it, it's hard for me, like for now it's hard for me to to choose whoever will be the winner, because both sides have their points, have their sources, have their evidences, have their arguments. But how you rebut, okay, how you make rebuttals, and how you delivered your speech, it matters. Okay. So if rebuttals in a debate is very important, because you're not just stating your own points, but rather you have to let your adjudicator um, be informed that no, her points or his points are not valid. It should not stand. Mr. Adjudicator, this is what should happen. Okay. And it all boils down to your rebuttal. So it's very important, especially for the third speaker, for Maggie and for Miranda. Rebuttals are very important. Okay. But when it comes to the content of your speech, it's there. Okay. So the contents are there. What I need you to work more is your presentation and delivery. Now, again, for the online challenge, your speech construction, 20%. Your presentation and delivery, it's more, it's 25%. And for the content of your speech, it's 25% as well. For the language, the grammar, and I suggest, okay, once you receive the topics, start thinking and start writing so you can have like maybe your friend or your parents or even I can take a look at it and check how we can improve your work. Okay, before you film yourself. Now, when you film yourself, make sure that there's no background noises and there are no like make it presentable. Okay, that's exactly the reason why I have Flipgrid responses. I have video submissions of your comments. It's for you to be trained on how you can or how you will be speaking or how you will be delivering your thoughts or your ideas online or through video submissions. This is a practice for you because right now when you apply for something or maybe application for college or maybe application for what work or when you when you wanted to join an organization, a club, they usually need video or they usually ask for video submissions or online interview. Okay, that's the trend right now, and it's good if you will be able to practice that. And maybe this is a ground for you, a platform for you to enhance your skill or further your skill. Because even I, until now, the eye contact, I don't know where I should be looking at. Sometimes I look up, I look down, and it matters. Okay, especially for those who are, or for those who will be watching your videos. So this is a practice for you. Okay, so this is how you will be improving. So yeah, those things, and again, the modulation of your voice. Okay, for the speakers, you have to put some make your voice projected or modulated. Okay, that matters as well. So for today, so those are the things that you have to take note of. Now, for today, when it comes to the content, same. Okay, I would say same. Uh, like there were lots of arguments and points for both teams, but for the rebuttals, I would go for the affirmative team. Okay, and for the technique, um, a little more for the affirmative because they have their own way of you know of delivering their speech, which is good. And for the delivery and the presentation, I go for the affirmative team. Okay, so the winner for this round is the affirmative team. All right. So please, to the seniors, please take note, especially if you're going to join the online challenge. Please take note of the things that I mentioned to you. Okay, and for the rest, also for those who are planning. Okay, so for Minnie, June, Patrick, if you're planning to join the online challenge, take note of those things that those tips and points that I gave. Now, if you can register already, it's good if you can register so that you can receive your topics or you can receive the topics already. I might be giving, topics that you can practice on so that when you you register, you already have the videos or you already have um ideas. Okay. All right, so that ends our debate for this afternoon. Thank you so much to our speakers. Thank you to Miranda. Thank you to Sydney. Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Maggie. It was a wonderful debate simulation, and I learned a lot from you guys. And I hope that you, the little kids, the grade five students, also learn about corporal punishment. Should it be or should it not be allowed in the school? All right. So do you have any other concerns or questions before we end this? Thank you. Okay, you're welcome, Sydney. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, and thank you. Have a great afternoon, everyone. For those who will be joining later, again, we'll do Kahoot challenges. This will practice you for the online and also for the poll and for the challenge, scholars challenge. All right. So have a great afternoon, everyone. Enjoy your dinner, and I'll see you later this evening.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
teacher. Bye.
Bye.